What is going on, guys? It's Adam AK Marf. Today's show is going to be packed. We're going to talk about the hacks. We're going to talk about, of course, everything going on with Taiwan, jets flying over, all sorts of nonsense. So we'll be right back right after this. Remember, nothing in this show should be considered legal, medical, or financial advice. If views of the callers can differ considerably, do not necessarily reflect the opinions of myself, Dex, or anyone else on the show. You should always do your own research and consult with professionals. The internet is full of fake news, so please take everything with a grain of salt. The number today is 224-400-MARF if you would like to call. It will be scrolling down below. What is going on? My name is Adam AK Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. Today, we're going to be talking about everything that happened over the last few days. We're also going to be covering yesterday's news as well, or just hitting a couple points there. Some really important stuff happened, of course. But if you're new here, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to, in fact, if you're not new, make sure to hit that subscribe button. In fact, the YouTube just told us that they're wiping spam subscribers. What I find with this spam subscriber wipe, which I understand the premise behind it, is it's a lot of people that are watching every night, though. That's what kind of bothers people. Again, I understand they're trying to keep it good for the advertisers and all that. But if somebody watches you every day, that doesn't mean they're a spam subscriber. So again, make sure to check that. Even send me a picture of it if you have it. All right, and then of course, if you have not joined us on the show, you would not know that we actually back up everything we say on our website. So if there is an article, a tweet, a video, a picture on this show here, we make sure to put a bibliography of all of our sources right there on our website. We try to use as many authoritative sources as we can, and if we do have an opinion or something that is completely coming from us, that will be clarified. You would go to People Are Blind to What Is Going On. Click on that and you'll see that all of the links are there. You can actually read ahead, you can read behind, or you can read along. And then, of course, on the right side, we are independent. We do not have a multi-channel network. We don't have a multi-billion-dollar company backing us. You are our back. So for those of you that want to go above and beyond, you can either support us through affiliates or support us through PayPal, Amazon, or any of those links over on the right side. All of those boxes lead to ways to help us. And then there is web-only content down below. Dex will explain that later. But that is, again, stuff that is basically too hot for TV and things that we believe, everybody should at least be paying attention to. Let's bring in Dex. He's my co-host / internet brother / he's going to be on the phones tonight at 224-400-6273. What is going on, Dex, and how are you doing tonight?
Well, hello, Adam, and hello, Foogle fam. I'm doing just fine.
So I will open up the chat box here in just a minute. I want to thank everybody for being here and thank you guys through sticking through all this. Again, it's just really frustrating when you have these kind of subscriber wipes. If you have a picture, if you are a regular viewer and you watch every night, make sure to screenshot that you have been unsubbed and write me in some way. Then I can actually put that, kind of put that away for a while for a rainy day if something does happen. All right, let's get it right into it. I covered this just briefly on my my kind of live on-site video yesterday, but the Rockton chemical fire could take 7 days to burn out, fire chief says. A chemical fire at Chemtool Inc. in Rockton, north of Rockford, continued to burn for a second day Tuesday as an evacuation order remained in place and roads were closed, officials say. The fire, which started about 7 a.m. Monday, was burning at a rate of 1 inch per hour and could take 7 days to burn out, according to Fire Chief Kirk Wilson. All employees were able to get out of the plant quickly and no injuries were reported among the workers. It says 2 firefighters were hurt, one with a leg injury who was released on the scene, and the other who was evaluated at the hospital for breathing difficulty and later sent home. He said, of course, and it says homes and businesses within a 1-mile radius of Chemtool were ordered to evacuate on Monday, Rockton police said. So that's a pretty big thing. If obviously it's a chemical plant, and if you're getting evacuated a mile away, that's pretty far away. Obviously, some of the chemicals could cause a gigantic explosion. So we'll keep you updated on that. We'll see if it actually does go 7 days. And then the DOD is to conduct a planned training exercise in and around Pittsburgh area. So this is something that everybody should pay attention to. Of course, throughout history, there have been all sorts of different trainings that have actually coincided with real events or that have turned into real events. Now, this one, of course, I don't think, they're going to take over Pittsburgh or anything, but just pay attention to what they're doing. They're doing urban training. They're doing low-flying helicopter exercises. What would that be for? What are they actually practicing for? It says the Pittsburgh Public Safety Department is informing the public, of course, to be aware that the Department of Defense will be conducting training exercises in the area in the coming days. The training exercises will be conducted by the Department of Defense along with local and state law enforcement. The training will be taking place from June 13th to June 19th. So keep those dates in mind. We're about halfway through. Pittsburgh public safety officials are taking the time to remind the public that these exercises are planned and are not in response to any current events. It says part of this training could include low-flying aircraft over parts of the area. Now, remember, there have been a few times in the last couple of years that they have had low-flying helicopters, and it's usually used, it's been used the last couple times with much controversy of swooping down and actually using the wind from the helicopter to disturb, in this case, there was a case where it was rioters, right? Or it was a protest. And in fact, both administrations used this trick just recently. The current one did. So everybody was kind of saying, oh, that's kind of hypocritical, considering made a comment about the last one doing it. This is something that would be possibly used for crowd control or something like this. But I don't know what's going on here. But I will say it definitely has my ears perked. And of course, I am, listening and watching all as well. If you have pictures of this, if you're in the Pittsburgh area and you get awesome video of this, remember you can go to marfooglenews.com, and at the top there is a tab called Play My Video. Again, at the very top of the website, you will see this tab right here. It is Play My Video, and then you just click that and it will bring you to a page where you can actually upload your video. Play My Video just asks you a couple questions. What kind of sighting is it? If it's a UFO or, a convoy or whatever it may be. And then you will give us permission to show it here on the show. All right. And then Dex, in a second, I'm going to pull you back in. I know you're probably already on the phone again. Remember to call in. It is 224-400-MARF. It looks like we have over 2,000 people already inside the show. China sends 28 warplanes near Taiwan in the year's largest exercise. So this comes out of the Straits Time, and of course they're calling it another exercise. This is a practice run, in my opinion. Again, that's my opinion, and people are going to find it hard stretched to, have more arguments with me in the future, because watch, this is going to happen. I am faithful. I've always been scared of saying, I think this, because I don't want it to not happen and then be, wrong about something. In this case, I have talked to enough people and enough military to tell you that I believe with all of my heart that Taiwan is going to be taken in the near future. And I mean, in my opinion, I feel like it's going to be soon. And the reason why is because of all the chatter and everything that's going on and what they're actually prepping for. It's not too hard to see the kind of signs all out in the open. And I know that there's pushback on that because, one, people think, this is fear-mongering or warmongering or whatever. At some point, there's going to be some big things. If you have been following, everything is pointing that direction. And I'm not just talking about propaganda. I'm talking about everything. NATO is now structuring everything against them. So it's not just a local U.S. thing. It's a world thing right now. And they're all saying that their aggressiveness is going this way. And now we are basically being bombarded with negative stuff about China at the same time about Russia, which is super weird because it's like it's so random. We're getting pointed two different directions by two different parties, and I feel like even in our own country that we are kind of being pulled two different ways. And some of you may know why that may be. I'll let you decide that. But again, this is the largest number we've covered, 22, I think 26, now 28. I mean, this is like rolling right up to it. It says out of Taipei, China's Air Force sent 28 aircraft close to Taiwan, the largest sortie this year, further ratcheting up military pressure on the government in Taipei as it seeks to strengthen the ties with the U.S. The 28 People's Liberation Army aircraft, including 14 J-16 and 6 J-11 fighters, were detected in Taiwan's Southwestern Air Defense Identification Zone, or ADIZ, on Tuesday. And then, of course, Taiwan's defense ministry ended up saying that these guys came right in and over. So this is a threatening action. Obviously, it's not just the U.S. and not just the U.K. All of the world is watching this right now. We actually go outside of the country, even with VPNs, to look at all the news around the world, and everyone is saying the same thing. People in smaller countries that are our allies are very nervous about this, and there's good reason. There are things going on, I would say backdoor deals going on with NK and, of course, China and all of these things, and we're going to show you evidence of that very soon here. I think that you will see that, of course, there are some names and countries that are not being put at the very front page, but I think they should be. And there's good information to back that up. Very soon, I think everyone is going to see this. Right now, the people that are seeing it are mostly in, government and in military. Even lower-ranking military members are seeing this right now. So, again, they're not. This is, you say it's all for show, but what makes me nervous is when they're not doing a big show about it. When it's on the back page, they're putting some things on the front page, but it's totally 180 from what we're actually worried about. So keep that in mind. With the hacks and everything else going on, I am ready to be smacked in the side of the head by something completely surprisatory. Is that a word? Spiritual Awakener, thank you so much for joining us. Pam Pantel, Zippy Moons, thank you for popping in over on YouTube. We've got John Turing, thank you so much for subscribing. Brenda Eiler, Heidi Montoya, Jan Breckstad, Adrian Parry, Todd Hayes, thank you. Just in the last 5 minutes, we've had at least, 15 to 20 new subscribers, but somehow for the month we're negative 66. From last month where we were positive 15,000. Doesn't make too much sense. Jonathan Dillashaw, thank you so much. City Picker, Larry P, Amber B, Subaru WRX, thank you so much. Who cares? Well, you should. Thank you for being the last one out on the last show. Remember, if you want to call in, now that we have most of the people here, almost 3,000 over just on YouTube, make sure to call in at 224400-MARF. Again, that's 2244006273, and that will be scrolling down below the MFN logo there. Just to call out, thank you so much, everybody over on DLive. We've got Island by the Sea. We've got Big Mikey, Venus L. Of course, Divine 1122. It's Jay. We've got Snaps in the crowd, Murphy's Law, Raymond Scott, Ben Hoond. Mirror Image, we've got EMP Shield is in the house. Is that the real EMP Shield? That is very awesome. Thank you so much for stopping by. I believe that should be Andrew, one of the owner representatives, and then Angela and Neely. Thank you so much. That's new math. That's funny. Speaking of which, I'll touch on that here in a second. I do want to go over and grab Dex. Dex, what do you think about all of this? And as far as all, every single time we've seen more and more fly over, and now we've seen them replicate their capital. We've seen them load up the South China Sea. They've basically made a forward operating base in the Spratly Islands. We have seen, obviously, a lot of different military action and things getting moved around. What do you think, Dex?
It's definitely it definitely looks like it's training. We know that they hold this very strong position that they want to reunify with Taiwan, and they don't really think that that's an optional thing. They think it's something that's absolutely going to happen. It's just a matter of what day they decide to pull the trigger on that, so to speak. So I think, that's sort of how I look at this, is they're going through their motions. They know they're going to do it. They know they want it done. It's just a matter of, when they think is the best time for them to do it. And then what is the reaction to the rest of the world?
Again, there's several people that are already in chat saying, my brother said that he gives it 6 months. I don't know if it's going to be a certain amount of time, but what I do know is that all of the signs are there. I know that they are meeting, especially with, all of these politicians are meeting and talking about this. There are obviously task force going on right now. I guess what is the main point is that, everybody needs to kind of get their ducks in a row. Giant Colk Machine says blue helmets on the move in Florida. Interesting. Thank you, Giant Colk Machine. I'm not going to say that the other way. And then Julie Clark, thank you as well. Everybody that has joined us tonight, I really do appreciate you guys. So we have a video, I do want to pump that up, coming out tomorrow that will talk about some of the electromagnetic kind of warfare that is possible, and a new report that has been broken out that we got pretty really awesome exclusive action to. So we're going to talk about that here in just a bit. And then we have Putin agrees at, quote, pragmatic summit with JB to resume arms talks. Now, we're going to talk about what was kind of said. JB actually said something that was kind of weird. He basically talked about things that he didn't want attacked, almost like a list of like, hey, don't hit here, but it's kind of like, hey, this is where it would hurt us. This is the first meeting since B took office. Talks last less than 4 hours. Putin first to hold post-summit news conference. An agreement on talks to address nuclear arms, cybersecurity. And of course, Putin makes clear no agreement on range of issues. Updates with more Putin comments coming. And then we have U.S. President JB and Russian President Vladimir agreed at a, quote, pragmatic first summit on Wednesday to resume arms control talks and return ambassadors to each other's capitals after they were withdrawn earlier this year. We saw that happened after there was multiple events, including the prisoner that was going on right at that point. We saw, of course, them on the border of Ukraine. We had all of these diplomats kind of ejected. Now they're saying that they're going to return ambassadors to their spots. The summit at the lakeside Villa de la Grange in Geneva lasted less than 4 hours, far less than B's advisors had said they expected. And then Putin called Joe B, 78, a constructive, experienced partner, and said that they spoke, quote, the same language, but added that there had been no friendship, rather a pragmatic dialogue about their two countries' interests. He said it was, quote, hard to say if relations with the United States would improve, but that there was a glimpse of hope regarding mutual trust. I wonder what they said about Japan right before Pearl Harbor. That's just something that kind of, pops up in my head from time to time. Speaking of which, we have a report coming out tomorrow. I hope you all watch it because it will explain a lot of why we choose the affiliates we choose. If you want to help support us, we want to help you guys figure this out because I really hope that everybody is paying attention. There is a big deal here. Make sure to go check out EMP Shield. It can protect you against all three phases. There are multiple devices that they make that can actually do this. There's one for your car. There's one for your generator, one for your house. There's even one for your boat, ham radio, even your solar system. People don't think about that. Again, marfooglenews.com/EMP if you want to support a 100% American-made company, which is, now currently not only contracted with agencies like DOD, of course, Department of Homeland Security, but they're also on the DEMSO team helping officially protect the Texas grid. So make sure to go check that out. You can get $50 off per device right now. They actually stop by. They are one of the only companies that actually that I've seen, and actually one of the only ones that we've worked with, where they regularly actually watch the content. They actually hang out. They hang out with the Foogle fam. They have talked to a lot of our audience. Andrew, one of the main people there, is somebody who is incredibly awesome. Without even telling us, has gone out of his way to help people in the Foogle fam and done all sorts of really, really cool things as far as gone out of his way to actually be there for everybody. So thank you, Andrew. I don't think there's any real company that's like you guys, and I think that's why the prior administration chose you, and I think that's why again, that we have made sure to do everything that we can to push people your way. With all the information that is coming out, which we told you over the last year that there would be more, people are going to see exactly why. There's experts all over the place saying so many things right now. So again, we'll wait until that video comes out. We put everything in a very dedicated video that actually explains it all. Ooga Dog, thank you for subscribing. Kevin Clausen. Randall Edge says, hello, Marf. On behalf of myself, my fiance, Patricia McGowan, we absolutely love your program. We are always glad to watch your live show. Well, thank you, and thank you, Randall. I appreciate that. And Joe Jones, JSP132, thank you for subscribing. Joy D. Fanning. DN on Yo, thank you so much. Stickman Mike, Pam Pantle, again, thank you. And then Michael Donahue, wonderful name there. Thank you so much. All right, and then Dex, let's go over to the phones. We'll open them up, and again, it looks like you're still getting them on. He's actually screening a call right now. Meanwhile, let's see here. I have
Yeah, we do have one caller.
Okay.
That I've got ready.
I've got to refresh my side because I can't see what their name is. So if you can introduce them, and then we'll get them on.
Sure, it's going to be Ben.
All right, Ben.
And Ben has some videos and photos, so you need to pull that up.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Ben's a first-time caller out of Illinois, talking about the Rockton fire, and apparently has some direct videos or photos of this.
Hello, mic check.
Hey, Ben, what's going on? You are live on Marfoogle News.
Hey, how's it going? Not too much.
Okay, so can you explain what we're looking at here? You have some photos?
Yeah, so the album I sent you guys was pretty much my firsthand footage and photos from the whole plant fire. I live about 10 minutes down the street from it, and first thing I woke up, looked out my window, saw a huge plume of black smoke, and I was like, all right, well, time to rock and roll. I was able to get down there, hit a couple different angles of it before all the roads got blocked off. There was a couple of different areas too that up closer to the plant itself later became the secondary fire lines to avoid the brush fires that I was able to get into on the backside. Pretty much just that kind of stuff. It was, I wasn't expecting it to make national news. It was completely unexpected, and that's about, still kind of, my head's still spinning from it.
Well, it does sound pretty good. I would love to pull up the videos and the pictures. Dex, I can't actually look at it in this form. Can you actually, is there any way else you can give me those files? Or can we put them in Get Pocket? Is that a possibility? And
Hey, I'm here. You can't see the link doesn't work, or what do you need? Because there's like a bunch of photos.
no, I'm not able to because it's there is some sort of problem with the verification of it. So,
Gotcha. Okay, give me a minute.
all right, thank you so much. All right, well, again, what we'll do is we'll end up putting this on the website as well. This is on my end, Ben. So, you know, as far as the fire here, so are you? I'm sorry to, and I might have missed this, but did you have to evacuate?
So I wasn't directly in the evacuation zone. The evacuation zone from the fire was originally a 1 mile radius in every direction. My mother lives downtown in Brockton. She was in the evac zone, and so I think the decent majority of the township was. They ended up changing that to a 2 mile evac zone, and then more information came out about the chemicals that were being burned and the byproducts they were releasing. And they added an additional mile or two onto that zone to where they suggested wearing masks or respirators, whatever was able to be procured at the time for anybody who was still in the area.
Now, can you see it from where you're currently at? Are you far enough away? Can you still see that?
So the fire itself was contained yesterday evening. I was able to see it for the most part. Yes, from where I am. There wasn't enough, I guess, light coming off of the fire to be able to see it from my house. But the cloud of smoke was visible for, I think, 56 miles in almost any direction. Yeah.
New link is in there.
Okay, thank you. So it will help me a lot. I'm a visual person, and most people on watching the show are too. So it will help once we get this actual a better link here. So hold on.
Yeah, of course.
All right, thank you, Dex, for doing that. Dex has to do this stuff behind the scenes that, like, on the spot, super quick. So thank you so much.
No problem.
All right, so okay, great. Oh, wow. Okay, so this is the Rockford fire here that we were reporting on. And, of course, we have viewers all over the place. So Ben got some really great shots, scarily close. Geez, you were right there, Ben.
Yeah, I was told that I needed to move by a police officer, one who is pictured in some of those further down. Thankfully, I mean, there weren't any large scale explosions while I was that close, but throughout, kind of circling the perimeter of what was all going on. I mean, we had, explosions of varying size every couple minutes for about maybe an hour or two.
Now, I was
told.
Are you a professional photographer, by the way?
A part-time professional, but I do consider myself to be professional, yes.
Well, some great shots here. I love this shot of the birds flying, obviously flying around in the smoke. What a crazy looking shot. Yeah,
it was something like from a dream or something. Like they were just circling over the river. Like there's a river beyond that tree line, and they circled there for about 5 or 10 minutes. I went down to see if the bridge was closed. I came back and they were gone.
Wow, look at that. And is that a water tank that's in these pictures? That's just a water tank, correct?
Yeah, that's the town's water tower. We had a couple of local residents who let us access the backs of their properties to be able to get a better line of sight. And that was the closest we could get to the water, the water tower, with it still being, I guess, recognizable in pictures.
Wow, these are great shots. So obviously, you don't mind if we share these with the Foogle fam so they can go to our website and look at these. They're really amazing shots.
Of course, the more the merrier.
And I'm glad that you took the time to tag these. I hope that in your part-time business that you do really well, and I hope that obviously I hope this is a positive thing for you as well. On that note, I think you should take advantage of instances like this. Like, this is a really cool thing. So that the property that you went behind that lady's backyard, were they told to evacuate then? Because that looked like it was definitely within a mile.
Yeah, she was about probably 400 to 500 yards out. She was told to evacuate. I mean, there was an emergency broadcast sent out to everyone within, I guess, within that distance. She chose not to for the time being. There was a couple other locals who chose not to, one of which actually prevented a brush fire from starting and or continuing. Whoever stayed behind was able to help just kind of keep an eye on things. There was a lot of this debris carried with the smoke cloud all the way down into Rockford and beyond, from what I've been told. Didn't get a chance to witness it further down, but I know some of the smaller and more localized structures, there were smaller fires that broke out. One on the roof of the UTC Taylor building, which is about 300 yards diagonally from the chem tool plant. And then I think either some of the residences in Rockton or the yards of the residences had small fires.
Hey, Ben, are some of these shots like as it was exploding? Like, this looks like a ball from like something blowing up. Like, this is actually, I've never seen a regular fire like this. This is such crazy photos.
It's very possible. I think, kind of in the heat of the moment, I mean, I wasn't really paying attention to anything other than what was in front of me and trying to make sure that I could keep it in front of me as long as I could.
Wow. And I hope everybody knows what I'm talking about. There's like these, there was a couple where there's balls of fire. They're perfectly round. That one, there was one on top of another. I mean, it must have been tank or something, popping. But great shots, Ben. And we'll share these on the website. And as you can see, here's the cop that ended up saying, "Hey, you guys, you got to get away from here." Again, 2 firefighters were injured, both released, so nobody got hurt in this. And now, according to Ben, this has been contained. So, well, thank you and great job. It's so awesome. We have photographers all over the place, very talented people in the Foogle fam. We will make sure to share this out, and I hope that, of course, I hope you have a great day and you have no more explosions near you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, if I could mention real quick, I am on Instagram. If anybody wants to check out my work, it's at Hazy Photography, HAEZEY Photography.
No problem, and I'm showing your name here, and we'll make sure to link. In fact, Dex, can we link his Instagram on there too?
Yeah, I can.
Look at this. So there's the moon through the fire, I believe. Is that right?
Well, that's the sun. That's the sun.
Oh, okay.
It completely blocked out everything.
That is so cool. Well, thank you so much, Ben. Again, I'll just quietly flip through these while we get on to the next one. But thank you so much for calling in. And if you catch something like this, again, make sure to send them in and go to Play My Video or contact us or hit me up on Twitter. So thank you so much, Ben. You have a great night. Be safe. All right, be prepared. Marv out. That was Ben DeHaze, and we'll link all of his stuff on of course, marfooglenews.com so you can get that. Michael Donahue, thank you again. Almost 4,000 watching. Wow. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. I don't know. What day is it? It's just a Wednesday. Maybe it's the timing of things. I know that, we started out I used to do my shows at 1 a.m. and all the East Coast people would wake up and watch my show. And then we did earlier and earlier. And it was like, then the late night people or the early morning people couldn't stay up late enough because East Coast is later. But it's weird. Certain times we'll get the East Coast morning people back. Well, thank you again. Thank you guys for hanging out. Let's see here. And then President B gave Putin a list of 16 critical infrastructure entities that must be off limits to cyber attacks. Is this like a big joke? Is this seriously like something, is this just like out in the open, like, hey, here's the 16 things that we don't want hit? Really? Dex, what do you think about this? As far as the 16 things that he gave a list, he's like, hey, can you just not hack these things? And giving them a list, wouldn't that say directly to him, like, hey, we know you're doing this?
That's the first thing I thought of.
It seems more like, it seems like, hey, here's the things you should hit, right? This is what would hurt us most.
Yeah, please don't hit me there. It's of course you're going to get hit there. Like, oh, we're, all's fair in love and conflict, right? So he's really going to abide by that? Come on.
It says, yeah, I mean, like, what is, we're in like we're in the twilight zone. So first of all, Putin is not saying he's done it. He's asking for proof, and some people think that the U.S. may be behind it. Some like rogue agency, CIA or whatever. We don't know. But what we do know is that he's giving him a list of 16 infrastructure items that cannot be touched. Does this make anybody's kind of theory tinglers go off? Because I'm sorry. It says President JB told reporters Wednesday he gave Russian President Vladimir a list of 16 critical infrastructure entities that must be off limits to cyber attacks. Okay, so if they're not on that list, it's okay? Like, how does this work? And hinted at a major retaliation from the United States should Russia allow continued malign activity in the sphere. Mr. B, speaking ahead of the press conference following a state of bilateral meetings with Putin and Russian officials, claimed the topic of cybersecurity was included in a discussion on establishing a mechanism for strategic stability. So, I mean, like, you could think of this as one way, like, if it was Russia, then we're just, like, publicly, like, hey, we know you're hacking, we're doing stuff to you. I mean, we're going back and forth. It's so crazy to me that we are, if it was Russia, which my gut does not say Russia. My gut says, like, some sort of, a planned thing. But anyways, this is just so weird. It's like, oh, don't hit these 16 things. What do you think? I want to know what the 16 things are. And again, I bet you we're going to see all 16 hit. I don't know. And by the way, that sounds extreme, but check it out. I mean, we've had now our fuel pipelines taken down. We've had, of course, our meat and food supply taken down. Now we've had again, I'll say this, the Southwest Airlines having a nationwide grounding for an hour and then all of a sudden just going back to business as normal because of network activity. It doesn't make sense. I'm sorry. And if our complete travel infrastructure is now connected to the internet, and if the internet doesn't work or they don't have network connectivity, then we're doing something seriously wrong. Think about that. They can knock us out just like that. But I also blame the U.S. for the majority of the international cyber attacks. Putin actually mentioned that. Blamed the U.S. for the majority of international cyber attacks. So saying that the U.S. is doing all this. Also, the other day said that don't get mad if you look in the mirror or what was it? Don't look in the mirror and call somebody else ugly or something.
Don't be mad if you look in the mirror and you're ugly.
Yeah, some translated badly saying there. It was Yoda. It is. Congress to receive Pentagon UFO report today as one rep says alien craft are from deep space and not sent by Putin. Congress received. Okay, so Dex, do we know when is this damn thing like actually going to be fully released? Is it?
Yeah, I don't know that there's an actual date, but it sounds like it's been given to certain people. You know, we heard earlier about a leak a while back, so I guess a small number of people had seen it, and now apparently some more people are seeing it.
Okay, so by the way, so we don't absolutely know.
And by people, I'm talking Congress.
Well, I know, but so Dex, there's been a lot of headlines that make people think that it already came out. It has not been released, as of now.
Yeah, I mean the report is done, right? In the sense that if somebody's already seen it, then it's been put together. It's just I think they're going through the motions of, you know, certain people get to see it first, and before they widely distribute it, and they may, I guess, make changes or decide to redact certain things. I don't know.
Okay, but there have been headlines that say Pentagon's bombshell report says there's no aliens or whatever. They're going off of a guy who says I saw a leaked version of it, or they're saying they're talking to somebody who spoke on the condition of anonymity and, you know, saw it, but it says that they can't rule it out or this or that. I want to see the damn report. What is in this report? What is actually happening here? You know, this is something that obviously has been months and months brewing, and I really, really hope that we actually get to see this. Kelly H, thank you, says, love you, Marf. Thanks for going over to PayPal during the show. Dawn B, thank you as well for going over there and supporting. You can always write something on PayPal as well, just like a super chat. Tracy Q, thank you for the $1 PayPal there. Someone says thanks for all the info and community. Thank you as well. Cheryl W, thank you for the $5 PayPal there. Woodsmere and Linda C, thank you guys for supporting us. Again, we do not have a multi-channel network. You guys are a backbone. Make sure to put everybody down in chat. Make sure that you guys are pushing each other up. We haven't done an update. I want to do a show kind of talking about the general how it works here, and we need to get that family aspect back. I cannot wait until we have our platform again where we can actually share stuff and get the states together and everything else. I'm super excited. I really am. I mean, I think that's what we are missing, and that's what we have been missing, is that family aspect that, you know, I think when the Discord got taken down, that was a really ugly thing, and we lost a lot of that love. Queen Rose, we are family, says Island by the Sea. That's right. Russian ships close to Hawaii. Thank you. I don't know if Able-Bodied is here, but Able-Bodied, it's like you've been here for 3 years. It's like there's people that I just really appreciate. Blowtarch Barbie, Valerie Angelino, Dean Thorpe, Linda Covington, thank you, says 2 cents says that they will release report on long holiday weekend when everyone is gone. Yeah, well, hopefully the ATMs won't go down at the same time, if you know what I mean. All right, let's see here. And then just to refresh this, Frankie Rios, who cares? Well, you should. Thank you again. Appreciate you. Everybody over on D Live. Looks like in Dex, I actually need another link for the D Live side of it. And then Dolly, thank you so much. Liz LaMarche, Randall Edge, I appreciate you. Happy Wednesday, fam. Love to all. And DM Walken in particular. Marf, do you have a company recommendation for solar generators? Liz LaMarche, I actually will very soon, I believe. So Liz LaMarche, good question. And then, of course, Dolly, thank you so much again for the super sticker. And Randall, again, thank you. So as far as this report goes, it says U.S. intelligence experts have produced a dossier on what the government knows about unidentified aerial phenomena, examining whether decades of orb sightings constitute a national security threat. And, of course, we have not seen it yet. Representative Andre Carson will chair a classified briefing about unidentified aerial phenomena, which will be conducted by U.S. Navy and FBI officials. The lawmaker said that the briefing was, quote, significant and a timely topic. amid growing concerns that unidentified aerial phenomena pose a national security risk to America. Skeptics think that UAPs may have been sent by foreign powers amid suspicions that Russia is ramping up its testing of hypersonic technology. But Representative Tim Burchett says TMZ that he is having a hard time thinking that Moscow is involved. So, one, they would have had to skip us in technology to do some of this stuff, but either way, even if they have hypersonic, it doesn't explain how they can turn on a dime at hypersonic speeds. Nothing can do that, even with, our current humanly physics. So that's why people are having a hard time kind of putting two and two together, if some of these videos and some of these things that have been confirmed are real. But, everybody thinks that there might be something like some sort of false invasion or something planned. I don't know, but what I do know is that something big is happening right under our noses. Everything is changing. They are social media engineering everyone's thoughts right now. So just I would say just go with your gut. I think your gut is the safest way to travel right now. If you see anything, anything, just go with your gut. That's the thing. Most people know the truth, but then they read something or they don't realize how directed everything is. It's like my mother-in-law. She was deciding to get or to not get a certain thing that everybody's getting right now. And it's like every answer that she wanted, it served it up to her on a plate with her, her search platforms. It's like if you're thinking something or saying something, it's going to give you the right answer to go with the narrative. It's like it's unbelievable. So you guys know exactly what I mean. I don't have to tell you twice. It's just nuts. All right, and then Dex, thanks for putting that in there. And then Murphy's Law. We've got Murphy's Law on the phone. First, though, I do want to remind you, there is a current sale going on at NordVPN. If you want to help us, you can actually go over and use our code. You can not only save a huge amount, but you can also help us with a small commission off of that. So you save, we end up getting a benefit from it, and you get the most awesome VPN out there. A virtual private network everyone should have. Again, with especially all the stuff going on with SolarWinds and everything else, go to marfooglenews.com/VPN. Right now, there is a giant sale, I believe, for the next week and a half. So make sure to go and check that out. All right, Murphy's Law. Let's get Murphy's Law on. Experience with black mold and creating solutions. And then we have a link to a video calling from North Carolina. Right on deck is Survival Living, talking about prepper and survival skills. And he just broke 12,000 people. All right, Dex. Let's get Murphy's Law on.
Murphy's Law should be on the line.
Murphy's Law, you are live on Marfoogle News.
Hi, Adam. Hey, Foo Fam. If y'all appreciate Dex, put a 1 in that chat room. Let's show Dex some love. He's the hostess with the mostest.
Yes, I agree with that. The hostess.
Yeah, just give him a 1. Show the love. Show the love. We got over 4,317 people wanted up. So, yeah, Adam. So look at these ones. Look at them. Look at them. Look at the love for our Dex. So we all know I'm a tech-tard, so he just amazes me. He's my hero.
Well, and by the way, it sounds like you have a video that we're going to link on our website. We're going to actually put that on our website so everybody can access it, but I can't put that on here because we're having problems with that. But
I know. I was tagged because I said Sea Trail. So most people don't know that I've been a YouTuber for probably as long as you, maybe even before you. I've been on about 4 years. And most people don't realize that, not everybody can own a home. So they rent. So they might be there for a year or two and say, oh, I've got allergies, right? So I moved into a house, and about 2 years after I moved in, I started being really sick. I was getting sore throats, eye infections, ear infections, nasal infections, and I didn't pay too much attention. So February 2018, I was constantly hospitalized within a week, and I almost died. And the video that I shared with you and Dex is actually very embarrassing because I was sicker than sicker. I mean, my face got distorted. I aged 10 years in a month before all this stuff happened. I didn't even have a wrinkle on my face. And when people see that video, I'm very embarrassed, but I was really sick. And until you realize the signs that your home could have toxic mold, and it's just little things, kids with asthma, bronchitis, and if you had recently moved in a year or two, it cost me $200. So my mate was like, "Oh, you're crazy." I said, "No, something in the house is making us sick." The two of us were hospitalized like in 1 week. He got, they literally said he had COPD and stage 4. He never had COPD 1. And a year before, he had pneumonia. And with me, they just kept saying I had an allergic reaction. You know, I had blisters going down my throat. It was horrible. So mold and toxic mold is in about 70% of homes in America. And most people don't know this. So a year after all this happened, I got the house tested. It only cost $200. I wish that they would pass a bill that these homes have to be certifiably safe, because, you know, we got children moving in, families, whole families. This place was 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. And when I literally brought it up to the landlord, she said she would have to evict us to make the repairs. And we were never one day late with our rent. So toxic mold it's really a very bad thing. And believe it or not, they actually put toxic mold in bioweapons. Yay. I don't think it's just for filler anymore. So anyway, as much as I tried to get my fiance to move out of the house, he wouldn't do it. We went round and round for 2 years. And finally I left. I said, "Well, you stay here." Guess what? He's still there. And he's not doing so good. So a friend said, "Come rent a room. You know, you can come stay with me and my family for a year." And I did that. So I'm up in Upper Michigan right now. I'm 18 miles from the Canadian border. And it's a beautiful thing. It's really beautiful weather out here. But my time has come, and because all my doctors and my insurance goes with North Carolina, I didn't have any medicine when I got up here. So what does Phoebes do? Phoebes gets in the kitchen and starts making her own stuff. And we all know I dive down a lot of rabbit holes. So many rabbit holes. And so I started saying, okay, well, let me do this, let me do that. And I did, and it worked. It all worked. So then I had the skin issue because, like I said, you know, that had totally, it destroyed my skin. I still can't get all the answers about what it does to your skin. So I was making sea silver. And then I was like, hey, let me capitalize on this idea because there's going to be so many people out there that are so afraid of germs, they're going to need to wash their hands. So I started making sea silver soap. And then I was like, wow, well, I have all these ingredients. Let me try to work on my skin. And you brought me up the very last video I did, because I didn't go like live where you could see my face because my skin was horrible. And in any event, so I went from sea silver soap to goat's milk. And then I went from goat's milk to hemp soap. And so I started a business because what worked on me, and come on, you know, toxic mold almost killed my mate, and well, it almost killed me, and this was all the fallout. So many people didn't know it. I've been floating around the internet. I had an old channel. They locked me out of that. I started becoming a bad girl back then, and then I had gotten this channel, and I just didn't know what was happening until I got the house tested. Now, the funny thing is before I left North Carolina, do you know I called the Board of Health, and I said, look, I'm living in a house with toxic mold. I have a slumlord. She doesn't want to fix anything. She wants to evict us. And so the Board of Health was like, nothing we can do. So then I called the building code inspector, and he said, nothing we can do. Now imagine my surprise. We're all locked down, right? We can't go anywhere. You're telling me I need to stay in my house. And then you're saying I need to mask up. Well, wearing a mask in my house, because I had to clean like one bathroom. That was my safe room. And I did this for 6 months. And the mold was in the mask, and that's why I was getting blisters. I was literally inhaling this toxic mold. And
you can't reuse those. You can't reuse those, Murphy. Murphy, we're a bit over time though, Murphy. I just wanted to let you know, and you've been a mod of mine for a long time, and you've put your time in.
Do you have my Etsy site?
We do. We're going to link it on the website, and we've actually pulled up your channel as well, so everybody will be able to go over it. I know that you have some videos going into all sorts of things. Again, I know you've lost channels because you actually show things, all of the stuff in the sky.
Yeah.
So again, we'll show your newer channel, and then we'll make sure to tie in your Etsy channel as well. Okay.
Thank you so much. I love you, fam, and get over there and get you some good soap. It's 100% natural. Even the goat's milk, not antibiotic fed. It's great stuff, man. It's helping me.
Well, that is awesome. I'm glad you found it, Murphy, and you're Foogle fan for life. So thank you so much. I've got your back. And again, I hope all of you do too. I hope you guys go over. Actually, she only needs 80 more to get to 2,000 subscribers. We push everybody up here, no exceptions. So thank you so much. Murphy's Law. Again, have a wonderful night for you. Bye.
Much love, Adam. Much love, Dex.
Bye-bye.
Good night. God bless.
God bless too. Just to let you know, I'll actually personally step into chat, and I will delete people. We do have to abide by the rules. Like I said, I was actually mentioning earlier before we even took that call. Because I think people have opinions about like natural remedies and things like that, whatever it may be. No matter who the caller is, we never, there's no such thing as like a next or this or that. Especially just to keep in mind, you, along with everyone else in here, is just as important to me. Everybody. So even if you were to call in and somebody was to say that, think about that. They're going to be back in the chat after 2 minutes. So, I mean, just treat people like you'd like to be treated. It's in general. You don't have to be a Christian or religious to follow that one. Treat people how you would want to be treated. And maybe you might call, and if there's 40,000 people watching, there's going to be at least 1,000 who probably don't agree with you or don't think that you're very interesting. In fact, I think that 100% of every single person in the world has gone into a room where they're not appreciated as much as they think they should be. Or they go, oh, that guy... There's always going to be people that aren't going to like you. So just think about that when you're listening to people call. Again, don't get mad if something gets deleted or a comment gets deleted or you get modded. and go, oh, free speech. It's not free speech. I own this channel. I own Marfoogle News. They are my channel. So if you come in and it's basically like coming into my living room and saying, F this guy, F that guy. I'm going to go, hey, there's the door. We're the owners of our channels. Just like you own that channel you're commenting with, you own that. If I came into your channel, you have full rights to kick me out. As far as freedom of speech, it's not a street corner. Maybe the trending comments on YouTube's video, that might be the street corner. But when you're in my channel, basically all I ask you to do is respect people. I like to listen to people. I like to listen more than I talk. That's something my mom taught me. So if yours didn't teach you that, I will. All right. Josh Diaz, and I don't take it personally either. I just got to let you know, I've had to have this talk because the last couple shows I've seen it and I'm like, we don't have as many mods right now as we used to. So again, and I'm not the person that grabs mods. All of my mods were mods for a reason. And I don't do somebody going, hey, I want to be a mod, and then telling everybody else to go, hey, mod this guy, he really wants to be a mod. That's not how I pick mods. I personally talk to my mods, and I know my mods. Because this is more, I really do believe that we have something here. And when we had our state groups, because a lot of the new people don't realize, we had people preparing in every state. I do take this seriously. As much as I goof around, I believe we are heading towards a precipice, and you're going to need to be prepared for it. So people, my haters, he's just doing for this or that. We get the same amount of views every show. In fact, I think we're getting more views than what we actually, show. I believe what I'm saying. So just so you know, like I really believe that we need to be not fighting with each other, not pushing each other down. We need to be pushing each other up because we are running out of time. All right, let's see here. Let's get into... Oh my gosh. Okay, so wait, I think that's... Yeah, okay, this is it. Peloton Bike Plus was vulnerable to remote hacking, researchers find. So everybody talks about these Pelotons. My wife, of course, says that, it would be really cool to have one. But they're like however many thousands of dollars. They're super expensive. Most people end up getting like a cheaper bike and then pay for the Peloton app, which, again, you would be vulnerable on this, I believe. It says the Peloton bike was hackable. We're going to see a whole lot more of these Fortune 500 companies and these big popular companies get hacked. This one, I'm surprised. Here's where the creepy part about this is because it has a camera, and I believe a lot of these have kind of an interactive thing. So I think that's creepy. If you're working out or if you're in your own house and something has, access to the microphones or the thing in your house and somebody can get in, just like what do you call it? Amazon Alexa or something like that. So this I don't find too surprising. Following news that Peloton's API exposed private user account data, McAfee's advanced threat research team says that the Bike Plus had a dangerous flaw that could enable hackers to invisibly and remotely gain control of bikes. It says, McAfee says its research began poking around Peloton's systems once the workout at home trend took off during the pandemic. It says in the process, they found that the Bike Plus software wasn't verifying whether the device's bootloader was unlocked, enabling them to upload a custom image that wasn't meant for Peloton hardware. After downloading an official Peloton update package, the researchers were able to modify Peloton's actual boot image and gain root access to the bike's software. The Android verified boot process wasn't able to detect that image that had been tampered with. To put more simply, a hacker could use a USB key to upload a fake boot image file that grants them access to a bike remotely without a user even knowing. That hacker then can install and run programs, modify files, harvest login credentials, intercept encrypted internet traffic, or spy on users through the bike's camera and microphone. Remember, these things are a PC on the bike. They can browse internet. They can say, hey, go to this website. They can read the news. They can do whatever. So that's the creepiness about it. Is it surprising whatsoever? No, not at all. This part, Russian, and actually we're going to get into some of the creepy connections here. Russian national convicted of charges related to Kelos botnet. This actually, the original article shows a picture. It's almost better to look at the original, but the gentleman was convicted of aiding and abetting these hackers, right? It says a federal jury in Connecticut convicted a Russian national on Tuesday for operating a crypting service used to conceal Kilihos malware from antivirus software, enabling hackers to systematically infect victim computers around the world with malicious software, including ransomware, which is the big thing right now. All of these infrastructures going down, grounding of flights, I believe. According to court documents and evidence introduced at trial, Oleg Koshkin, former 41, formerly of Estonia, operated websites like crypt4u.com and fud.biz and others. The websites promised to render malicious software fully undetectable by nearly every major provider of antivirus software. Koshkin and his co-conspirators claimed that their services could be used for malware such as botnets, remote access trojans, keyloggers, credential stealers, and cryptocurrency miners. The defendant designed and operated a service that was an essential tool for some of the world's most destructive cyber criminals, including ransomware attackers. So this guy basically made this kind of assistant tool to these hackers, and now apparently he's getting in trouble. But again, it does it say that he was okay? So he was convicted. I don't know if he's been sentenced though. Dex, do we know if he's been sentenced? It's like a lot of the times this kind of stuff is hard to pull on because they're just designing, part of it.
Yeah, I don't know if he has. I don't think that's happened yet.
So either way, again, we're going to see a whole lot more of this, and we're going to see all of the companies you know and love get hacked.
Faces a maximum penalty of 15 years. And it's scheduled to September 20th. I found it.
Okay, now this is actually 4 or 5 days old, but it comes back to it. I was actually looking into a couple things, and I'm trying to find a pattern here. And please feel free to help me. This is where it gets interactive, okay? If you can help me figure out if there's any connection, I'm just reaching here. First thing I thought of is, who's getting these ransomware attacks? Who's getting hacked? And is there something in common? Is there any common denominator? Is it just Russia hitting random things? Is it Russia hitting anything that was affected by solar winds? Or is it the U.S. affecting certain companies? Is it U.S. versus U.S.? If there's some sort of dark secret power here, we don't know, right? Nobody really knows until we get official data and proof that, shows everything. EA Gaming, though. Again, at first you're like, who would care about gaming, right? Well, this gaming company is owned by a gentleman who's actually quite connected with Big Pharma, weirdly enough. So this is kind of where my brain went. It hacked EA, and I said, well, okay, who owns EA? EA gaming giant hacked and source code stolen. Hackers have stolen valuable information from major game publisher Electronic Arts, the company said. The attackers claim to have downloaded source code for games such as FIFA 21 and the proprietary Frostbite game engine used as the base for many high-profile games. Frostbite, if you don't know, their engines are, they're not, I would say some of the other like Unreal Engine and these things that you see on games are a part of like their structure, It says news of the hack was first reported by the news site Vice, which said some 780 gigabytes of data was stolen. EA said that no player data had been stolen in the breach. There's millions of players all around the world with their credit card information, everything on there. So that is why this could matter, right? But on top of that, I'm like, okay, but why? Think about anybody who plays these major series, Battlefield, Star Wars, The Sims, Titanfall, of course, FIFA, any of the sports games that EA does. Almost all the sports games are EA Sports, right? all of those people that have bought extra content or bought an outfit for their player, all of that information would be in there. But not only that, so then I go, okay, who's the owner of this? And the owner's name is Larry Probst. And I'm not saying there's anything here. Of course, I'm just literally saying I looked up this chain of events, and I'm like, okay, so Larry Probst is been involved for 20 years. He's the actual biggest owner. He's not only CEO, and then he went from CEO to being president, to being this, to being that, to chairman. He is the biggest stakeholder. So he is, the most owner out of anybody, right? And of course, he's the third, right? It's these elites. One thing that I always see is like the thirds, and there might be a few exceptions in our audience that, might have grown up in a trailer and have no royalty in the family or anything like that. But I've always noticed that these CEOs are like the third or the fourth, right? What does that mean? That they literally took the same name down from their fathers. Like that comes from a certain kind of thing, right? And it's always his name is Lawrence Francis Probst III. Sorry, I just don't know any, David Bob Jims the Seventh. We just don't have that. It's old school, right? But anyways, that's beside the point. Totally separate. But it seems to me like there's a lot of these elites that pass on their wealth. And somehow they always get into these, well, first of all, they get into Ivy League schools. They get into fraternities, these super ultra freaking high up fraternities. They coast through everything. Their parents pay millions of dollars on the board of their high school and of their private schools and all of this, and they fly through. I saw it. I went to 1 year of private school with, I played basketball against Starbucks owner Charles Schwab's or Short's kid. I saw these kids, right? And none of them would do any work. They wouldn't even do tutoring. Well, I did tutoring as much as I could to just keep up. These kids would just flunk, and then their parents would go, hey, I'm donating $100,000. Pass my kid. And they did. And then they would get into college, free ride for everything. On the ramp. But this gentleman, most likely a fifth generation, seventh generation elitist, probably got paid through everything, is also tied somehow into Johnson & Johnson. Worked for Johnson & Johnson, so probably has some friends over at that company, right? And then somehow is actually connected to cancer research boards. He's actually on the board of two boards here, different ones, including the V Foundation and ABC2. And if you go and it's like Delta Chi Fraternity, it's like everything I was saying before I was looking this up, and I was like, it's like, yeah, everything is there. It's like, it's so predictable, right? And it's just funny. Hooters is on there, of all things. Hooters cares about cancer, right? iHeartMedia. These are all media, big pharma. They're all. I guess my point is all of the targets so far, and I showed you this on previous shows and on previous videos that I posted. Almost all of them have ties with this stuff. Why? Is flipping weird. Sorry. Can a $110 million helmet unlock the secrets of the mind? Can definitely unlock something. Probably a gym, it looks like. Let's see here. It says Brian Johnson, who made a fortune in online payment processing, has spent a lot of it building hardware meant to radically expand science's understanding of the brain's aging and effects on the body. It says over the next few weeks, a company called Kernel will begin sending dozens of customers across the U.S. a $50,000 helmet that can, crudely speaking, read their mind. Weighing a couple of pounds each, the helmets contain nests of sensors and other electronics that measure and analyze a brain's electrical impulses, the blood flow, and at the speed of thought, providing a window into how the organ responds to the world. It says the basic technology has been around for years, but it's usually found in room-sized machines that can cost millions of dollars and require patients to sit still in a clinical setting. It says the promise of leagues more affordable technology that anyone can wear and walk around with is, well, mind-bending. Excited researchers anticipate using the helmets to gain insight into brain aging. Now, remember, they have basically found up until now that you could technically live forever, but there is no way currently, or at least they say, that you could keep the brain young. So even if you keep the body looking like this dude, the brain maxes out at about 120, 130 years or something like that, and then it decays. So even if you had that body, you would have a vegetable at 200 years, right? The brain would have Alzheimer. It wouldn't have, this would slowly die out. The rest, we can regenerate. We can make arms. Now they're saying they are at the, they're not even at the cusp. They are regenerating limbs at this point. And they're figuring out ways to get this over to humans so you could regenerate an arm. But that's the thing. So if they are going to figure this out, or somehow exercise the brain or do something or zap it, this is why I think, soon we'll start seeing these elites that are like, 105 years old and still, walking around, and they won't look like, Prince Philip, they won't look like the Crypt Keeper. They'll actually look young, and we'll be like, hey, how are you guys doing that? But of course, we won't get access to this stuff. Soon, I think that the very richest of people will be able to live forever. Yeah,
you'll be able to identify them. They're walking around with those big helmets on.
So yeah, and you're gonna and you'll open doors for them and go, "I'm sorry, okay," and then people walk up to them, talk slow. Hi, my name is Adam. And they're like, I'm fine, idiot. I'm a billionaire. All right. Yabba Dabba Planet X Watcher, creepy helmets. Yes, Dr. Evil's meat helmets. That was even better. Harry Balls. That was his comment, that's Dr. Evil's meat helmet. Ruby and that's, oh my gosh, I just put that together. Any Tri-Cities, Washington, Ruby and Keith Davis says. Living for Jesus says, who would want to live forever here on earth? Heaven is a different story. I love it. James Jackson, Tamari, Debbie Kohida, All Rider. Hey, you're old school Foogle fam too, says the Joker. What is going on, Susan Gitz and Dr. Sean Berry? Dex, can you actually let me know in a second here? Can you pull up the top 3 over on DLive? For whatever reason, I'm not able to see it. So what do you think of the helmets? Would you ever wear one if it could make you live longer, or at least your brain to live longer? Here's a story that you have to be careful with, because just anything regarding this person, it's just like, oh, they're going to shut you down and take you out and take you out to the alley and leave you there. And we're going to take your teeth with us, though. And we're going to take the keys to your car and we're going to leave you in the street. Well, actually, we'll only take some teeth. We'll leave the rest, and then we'll give you some fake teeth to make you look like a good person. And then we'll hide those pictures and get rid of that thing. Okay. His art will sell as high as $500,000, and the buyers will be kept confidential. So this man's art will be sold for $500,000, and the buyers will be kept confidential. In other news, President JB has just made 4 new appointments on his schedule this week to meet with random people. Not related. I wonder if this art is done with anything human, related. I don't know. Anyways, the first son's first foray into the art world has been seen. His piece is picked up by art dealer Georges Burgess, who has priced the younger B's artwork between $75,000 and $500,000, depending on the size and scope of the collage artwork. Collage. See, another thing about kind of if you're in that just over the top, you have so much money, people pretend you're good at things. You know, just like, yeah, you're good at art. That's a good collage. Yeah, the newspaper clippings go really well with the human hair. It looks great. No, I mean it. No, you are talented. So much talent. Man, so much talent. Yeah. So you say you know Jeff Bezos? You could get me a job over there? Uh-huh. Oh, no, you're talented. Do you have Jeff's number? Yeah. Yeah. You can get me on the flight? Blue Origin? Yeah. Your art's great. Your art's real great. I appreciate your art. I think you've had talent. No, I think you should do this for a living. Yeah. Oh, no, you're good enough. I mean, I go to museums all the time, and I don't see stuff like this. No, I wouldn't have thought human hair. That's crazy. Sorry, that went on way too long.
Look, they want to complain about crypto, but look at what these elite people do with the art world. Talk about a complete sham. The amounts of money that they move around for stuff that, you know, is very questionable as to whether or not it is art or if of the value at which it's being placed on.
Okay, this quote is just gonna like punch me in the head. I don't paint from emotion or feeling, which I think are both very ephemeral. For me, painting is much more about kind of trying to bring forth what is, I think, the universal truth. And their buyers are confidential because, yeah, you don't want to be the guy who bought that for $500,000.
Unless it's a stack of white powder. That's called artwork.
Or it's I owe you a meeting with somebody. Okay, moving on. Let's get out of here. Before we do, though, we actually have a great caller. And we've got Survival Living. Survival Living is going to talk about prepping and survival skills. Survival Living, you are live on Marfoogle News.
He's coming. He pressed the button one too many times. There he is.
There we go.
Press 4 for Hunter's art. Okay, what's going on, man?
Not much. First off, though, I want to say that I hope my son with this crayon coloring makes $500,000. Also, that helmet's going to be off my head because they don't want to see what's in my mind. And third, I am the third, and my son is the fourth. So I'm pretty sure we're probably with the larger groups of people.
I knew it. That's why.
Yeah. Oh, and also I helped finance a lot of Hooters before I got married.
That's okay. Now we know the connections here. Now we know why you're doing so well,
my friend.
Yep. Now we know why you're doing so well.
Yeah. Well, I want to call and thank you. Actually, we had broke 12,000 subscribers this morning. And that's a huge thing for the channel because we're actually able to reach more people on preparedness as far as prepping and survival, outdoor survival skills. And a large portion of that has come from your channel, you and Dex, there at Marfoogle News, Marfoogle TV. You've always been real supportive with us, and you've always helped push our channel. You've done it with many other channels out there, and I've always been the first one to go out and say thank you to somebody when they've always helped, and they never had to. So we've got a lot of Foogle fam over there on our channel. But I want to, come over here and say thank you myself because it has opened up new doors for us. I mean, we've even, besides our outdoor survival, which we are starting to pursue more in, since I'm actually more physically fit to do so. Since my injury 2 years ago, we're able to do a lot more stuff, and we started our own website up and things like that, progressing the channel out. And this September, we're taking the channel even further. I'm signing up for the Pathfinder course up there in Ohio, the Dan Canterbury course out of the Self-Reliance Outfitters. I'll be taking their intermediate course. I have to take that before I get to take their advanced course, and that's basically just taking my skills up to the next level on outdoor survival, bushcraft, and it's something that we've decided that we were going to be pursuing, and actually with our channel growth has opened up those doors so we can do that.
Well, I am so pumped for you, and I'm so excited. Your channel is looking so awesome. You now are at 12,000. Not only that, you even have the option to join memberships. You're looking like a real boy. You're looking like a real YouTube channel. Like, this is really cool. By the way, if you didn't know, Survival Living has made really high quality prepper minutes for us. Those minute-long short videos that we've been doing, we believe that everybody should at least get those 1 minute things in, because guess what? A minute, people will pay attention. We're not doing those for views and everything. Those actually get much less than anything else, and they actually hurt because they're not everybody's thing. But we're doing it to make a playlist so you guys will have access to these tips. And then of course, Survival Living over here has done a really great job. There's quite a few people that have done a great job. We have Bones doing stuff. We have we've had plenty of different preppers. Alaska Prepper. We've got all sorts of prepper minutes coming too. We have like 20 in the bag right now. So I want to thank you for doing that, and especially thanks for doing this. But no, and again, your views now are going up, and soon you're gonna be, you're gonna forget who we are. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah. I'll forget who you are every time I turn on the channel and I click on you, because you're right there. Well, that's one thing I can always say. Your notifications do get through, because I signed up for your notifications on your website, your Twitter. I'm always making, even DLive, which I don't watch DLive very often. I still get the notifications, so I know you're on. Because I had to go through multiple platforms to always get that, because how Can't Dance Rhythm likes to play games. My wife's over there laughing at me. But it's really good. I wouldn't ever be able to do any of this without support from you guys, support from other creators that I've been working with the prepper community and the survival community, and having my wife. My wife has supported me from day one. I think mainly because she wanted to get me out of the house, because I get a little stir crazy sometimes. She's over there smiling at me right now. But yeah, I mean, it's a big thing for us here. And the prepper minutes, I was really blown away when Dex had contacted me about, if we would be interested in doing that. And yeah, I said absolutely right off the bat. And I had to play around with it, try to figure out how to do it, in 1 minute and stuff. But like you said, the attention for the 1 minute, it's only just 1 minute. You get to learn something really fast, and then you can pursue it later if you want to. If you want to know more about it, you just go to their YouTube channel. Usually they got a follow-up video or something like that.
Well, by the way, anybody that watches Survival Living, there's a reason you're 12,000. We're just sending you a few people. Again, I think that once you get that momentum, once you start getting this down, then it starts rolling. A lot of people just don't get the fundamentals. They just don't get off to the right start. So I appreciate you. And again, if you haven't checked out his prepper minutes, if you haven't checked out his channel, he'll be linked on marfooglenews.com. And again, say hi to the wife for me, and thank you for everything. We always got your back. Even early on, before you even had a channel, you sent me survival. You sent me a fire kit. You did things like that were just really cool. So I actually want to help people. And also, I will always remember who has helped me. I always remember the people that send me packages or send me letters, that kind of thing. I appreciate that. So thank you again, and you have a great night, okay?
Absolutely, Adam. You take care. Dex, you take care also. And Foogle fam, definitely do appreciate the support.
All right. Well, you have a good one, and make sure to go check out Survival Living, a.k.a. Central Florida Prepper. All right. And Amber Porter, thank you for subscribing. Wandering Winds, thank you so much. Daniel Lazarus, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. You can always write something there as well. Teresa Chevalier. Thank you. Ray Stahl, I appreciate you. Sherry Lynette. See, like 100 new subscribers during the show, but somehow for the whole month we're negative 66. That does not make sense. Elaine Wass, we've got Elizabeth Dean, David Lynch, thank you for subscribing. Jai May, thank you so much. Suzanne Davis, Megadeth 999 Polaris, we've got Ken Garrett. How? There's so many new subscribers. I got to take a picture of this, man. I don't know how. Thank you. It's a blessing to have all of you guys. Every new subscriber is a human being, and I seriously appreciate it. Thank you. Dex, is there there's some stuff over on the website that you definitely want to tell them about?
Oh, absolutely. So in addition to the web-only content, which is real simple to get to, go to marfooglenews.com. Go to the thumbnail, click on it, scroll down, look for web-only content. You will find things like what's happening with the auditing that's been going on. Lots of new stuff there. Some updates from previous administrations. Some interesting commentary about Putin and JB that's on there as well, and plenty of other things, including stuff that maybe some three-letter agencies were getting involved in allegedly. So go take a look. There's some extra content, stuff we don't necessarily cover here. But then remember, if you go a little further down, you'll get to all the caller info. So somebody like Ben and all of his photographs that are uploaded on our site, you can go see them there. And we've got Murphy's Law information there, as well as Survival Living. And the one thing I'll tell everybody, if you haven't seen the Prepper Minutes, I got a link to it. It's right there underneath Survival Living. So just click on it. That'll take you right to the Prepper Minute playlist, and you can watch them from beginning to end. And we'll keep adding more in there over time. So if you're wondering where it is on Marfoogle News, our other channel on YouTube.
Thank you, Dex. Again, one of these is so big that it's just mind-blowing, but it's so obvious, and it's like, you go with your gut. Like, no matter what, go with your gut. I was watching at home, and I was thinking, man, this is just so weird. How did the video cut out? And then they they're all sitting there like, oh, they're coming in. Oh, they're slowly down the hallway. Yeah, can you guys hurry it up? They're slowly coming down the hallway. They're walking. Somebody stopped to smoke a bowl. They're really coming. Oh, we're getting scared. Remember, you can use your chairs to protect yourself. They're okay. Just cut the feed. We'll come back in a minute and act scared. Have a good night, guys. It is now officially time for the Shoutro. Dex, can you tell me who the top 3 over on D-Live is? I do something called the Shoutro. It's not an outro. It's not a shout-out. It's a Shoutro, where I say all of your names in a silly song of satisfaction.
Absolutely. So the top 3 over on D-Live was number 1, Kelly2334, and number 2, Zippy Moons, and number 3, Gone Girl 777.
Whoop, whoop.
Thank you very much.
Gone Girl did make an appearance. Thank you so much, Gone Girl. I appreciate you. Again, either way, you were going to shout out. Kelly2334 and Zippy Moons. Over on YouTube, I believe, Teresa Chevalier and Randall Edge. Thank you for being the number 1, I believe. Thank you. Have a good night. Be safe. Be prepared. And Marf out.
Young,
out of control. Thank you, Michael Donahue, Ooga Dog. We got Kevin Clausen, Randall Edge, Liz LaMarche. Happy Wednesday, fam. Thank you again. Make sure to check out the show at marfooglenews.com. Follow me on Twitter at Marfoogle. Make sure to press an M in chat for all the mods. All of our wonderful, wonderful mods. Special shout out to CJ Blaze, West Virginia. What's up? Legendary J Stone 78, wherever you are appreciated. Mama sitting in that wild island. That child is a whining. Ain't nothing going give now. Our tablet now is silent. And everybody knows that it's going down tonight.
We're gonna try to, do something different.
Carry on a single day, going back round everybody's way. Never let today's sorrows change who you gonna be tomorrow. Lord Andrew, I knew Smokey Man got. I got the mark where I got this Smokey Man got Lord Andrew. Paul Shaggy Deep Smiter Mine too high. Dusty Durham and Mr. On you. Judy's out there, or going back there. Reach you on the Brady, going out there. A Getty Hansen, Alish the I mentioned. Everybody's on the mass here, more generous and everybody icy. Got a cake with a icing. I got it on icing. Like your mac and cheese, Lord Andrew. And I'm not balling and not everybody do not eat now without bread. I jam, everybody go behind. Allah, Allah. Bring it back around and everybody knock. Got the man we raised in Milita. I know the moon shot going back on the hell. Every concentrate with that keep cat go. Keep cat, kid tat. Bring it back next day. Venus on the air. Bring it with the croc toms in, I swear. Bobby on the survey on Zimba. Bring it down now, for the possibility. I dedicated under your shoulder. Bubble up, privacy on the these days. Oh, not a future on the essay. Spreading the good news of what the benefit. The net or island by the unseen. Bring it back around with the ability now. Every bones that gotta go back now. And that's on. Be tomorrow. Never let today's sorrows change who you gonna be tomorrow. Never let today's sorrows change who you gonna be tomorrow. No, he's looking down on me. I know he's looking down on me. I know he's looking down on me. I was working on dying, bring on down, everybody knows I gone Jimmy 7 on the guy, there's CP Moon, he's no dark, Kelly on the 233,
Galley on the 2, 3, 3, 3, 4. I said, Galley on the 2, 3, 3, 3, 4. Got the Amber Porter wandering wasteland, yo. Lost their rest. Bring it down now, they got